Have you ever wondered what good positioning looks like? Like, guys, I mean really good positioning. I mean like pro level positioning. Have you ever just wanted to compare, okay, what does a pro great positioning look like versus what do I look like when I'm in a game? How do I position myself compared to a pro? Well, we are going to get into that so that way you are able to tell the difference between a pro's game sense on how they are able to position themselves compared to us, the average players. So, of course, in today's video, we're going to be bringing you the 3 levels of positioning so that way you guys can stop positioning yourselves like noobs, and that way you guys can start positioning yourselves like pro level Radiants. So, let's get into the video, shall we? Because it's a packed one. All right, getting into our first player to really see the very basic level of positioning. I'm talking about, we're going to be reviewing our silver level player. I believe he's a silver 2, silver 1, if I'm not mistaken. But the main takeaways I want you guys to take away from this clip review is going to be how basic this player's positioning is. Now, it's understandable because obviously he doesn't have that much experience in the game. He's only a silver 1 or silver 2, guys. So, you know, obviously it's not going to be crazy pro positioning, but I want you guys to pay attention to why I say maybe position yourself into hell every single time you guys are taking A side on bind isn't always the best thing. Sometimes taking more aggressive positions with your teammates is a lot better than just kind of hiding and tucking in one position the entire post plan. So you guys will see what I mean as we get into this clip review. So let's jump into it. All right, so starting off with the first clip, we're going to see our Reyna playing Heaven. This is very basic positioning. This is literally what every single person plays, especially when pushing A side on Ascent. It's very common for players to push Hell. Now, the reason why I say this is very basic level positioning because this is a very basic position that everyone pretty much expects players to be in. It's not really nothing too fancy. It's not really any off angles. You're playing pretty predictable, but of course in these lower ranks where players just lack mechanics and, you know, kind of game sense, they're not gonna all the time check this angle properly, especially when we see this Sky just straight up jump right in front of him and kind of like not understand how he needs to properly clear Hell. He just kind of like jumps on that side of Hell and just, you know, obviously gets demolished by the Reyna. That's a really good positioning because he's also isolating himself to only being in a 1v1 gunfight with the with the Sky. And now that he's killed the Sky, he's then gonna move over to the Jet. He's gonna kind of like clear the angle, obviously not clear the angle perfect, but you know, he is a silver at the end of the day, so he does have some mechanical skills to work on, which he will because he's a supporter of ProSense and he's going to get better with us. But then he's going to be able to easily kill the Jet because the Jet has all of her attention towards B main, and she also had one guy over on the button area over here, so therefore she just completely kind of like tunnel visions into the KJ, and this is where Reyna's positioning comes into place, and she's able to kind of get the kill on Jet. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that obviously if you kill an enemy from their back, your positioning is always good because that means you have very unpredictable positioning. But if you ever find yourselves kind of always fighting enemies face forward, like straight up with the enemy, then that might be an indication that, hey, your positioning may not all the time be great. So you may have to kind of like adjust the way you position or how aggressively or how passively you position yourself. So just keep that in mind when you guys are kind of like determining your positioning. And one thing that the our silver player here is not kind of taking into account is the position of his teammates, because even though Hell's a really good position, guys, 9 times out of 10 the Hell player isn't really bringing very much impact to their team. You really want to go fall back into Hell when it's like, oh my god, when like all your teammates are dead and you have like a last resort and like you're just like in a 1v1 or 1v2 and you have to isolate your angles, then that's a good time to go to Hell, right? But going to Hell immediately and just staying there the entire time isn't really the best, because easily his entire team could have died from the person in Heaven and he's just Hell the entire time, not really watching anything. So a better positioning would actually be right here on this green box. So just keep that in mind. Where's my teammates playing? Where is my positioning? Am I actually helping my team, or am I just kind of like hiding, avoiding gunfights, waiting till the very last second? Alright, so now it's time to get into the pretty sick clips, in my opinion, because now we're going to get into the intermediate level player, and this player is a Diamond 2, Diamond 3 Jet. Now, yeah, these are the same exact players that we kind of did the reviews in the last 3 levels 2 video, so if you guys would like your clips reviewed, send them to ProSense. Either join our Discord or send us an email. But getting into the clip review of our intermediate player, like I said before, guys, I want you guys to really pay attention to how precise and just how calm this player is. Like, to be honest, like, this intermediate player is like like really high in intermediate. Like you don't really see this in diamond too often. This player is really kind of aware of just a lot of things. So there's a lot of key takeaways that you can get. I want you to notice especially how he uses sound to kind of position himself and how he's able to clutch his 1v5. Sound is everything, and like, you know, just kind of like remaining calm and just like seeing if the enemy can give you any sound cues goes a long way. And just, you know, this clip speaks for itself, so let's get into it. Getting into our second player, we have our intermediate player who's, I believe, is a diamond 2, almost diamond 3. And he's playing Jett, and he's the last one alive on his team. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to how exactly he plays this post-plant situation, given that it's literally a 5v1. Again, it's literally a 5v1. So let's see how this plays out. Now, we're going to see Jett push into garage. Now, one thing you guys have to take in mind, and that what the Jett is doing a fantastic job is not giving away free information. So many of you guys just let go of shift in the middle of clutches because you feel like you need to crunch down on time, or you just panic. Understand that this Jett is literally giving them no value whatsoever. And because it's literally a 1v5, why would the enemy team hold shift? They have no reason to. So they're going to be giving Jett all these sound cues. So this is literally going to kind of give Jett an idea on how she can really have precise positioning. And this is literally exactly what we see. So she's going to kind of take a gamble. She's going to understand that these people are not pushing her garage yet because, one, she hears people all the way over here coming from grass. And she also hears one person from box shooting at the doors here. Okay, people are shooting her from doors, so she's gonna isolate the gunfight, knowing 100% for certain that this chamber is gonna swing her window because she literally hears this kid running full speed at her, and she's gonna be able to kill the chamber literally with ease because chamber's not even gonna expect her to be there. So what is she gonna do? She's gonna then hold the angle to just make sure no one's pushing her from garage to trade her off. No one does push her in time. They're continuously just spraying her through the orb, and now she's gonna again sound cues. She's gonna listen for Rainer and Omen to make their way up, and that's exactly what they do. So they're just full sprinting, basically saying, hey Jett, we're on long and we're about to go in C site. So Jett, because they're not holding shift and because they're literally giving Jett the exact moment of when they're going to be on bomb site, and Jett, she knows, she plays this game enough to where she knows, okay, these footsteps are this far away, so it's going to take them a good amount of time to get to site. So she takes this time to get into pretty good conditioning, and you have to pay attention to what she does here. As she's going through the smoke, she looks down so her gun barrel is not peeking out of the smoke. Okay, and then when she's ready to take the fight, she then brings back up her gun barrel and she's able to kill the Reyna and then the Omen. Okay, I don't even know what the heck the Omen was doing there, but now she's gonna put herself in position. So now she understands it's a 1v2. She just killed a person. She understands there were people garage, so someone could be A, in garage, or CT, or these two people could be going long. So what's the most likely chance, right? Well, she just walked past garage, and she obviously didn't hear anyone or got shot. So she's then going to make her way through logs, hold CT for a little bit, just to ensure that no one is behind her. Then again, like I said before, they're going to give her sound cues. These, Jett and Silva and their team are going to give her sound cues, so she's going to understand that Jett's coming through long and Silva's coming through garage. Silva's going to dart, but his dart really doesn't get much. He kind of swings too early. If you guys are Silva guys, wait till your dart scans things, then swing. This Silva swings way too early, does not expect our Jett, so our Jett's able to get the kill. He tries to dash away to kind of like mess with the Jett, and now he's just playing mind games with the Jett. He's getting concussed, he's not concussed. He's getting scanned and everything, so Jett kind of knows where he is, but he still has 2 smokes. This is where you got to play for utility. And unfortunately, yes, Jett does whiff here on his knives. Honestly, this is just unfortunate. But at the end of the day, guys, he won the round. He clutched up, and he got the round win for his team. Now, for the moment you have all been waiting for, getting to our pro level player, Kana. Kana has some insane takeaways, guys. Some insane takeaways to take away from his gameplay, which we will jump into momentarily. But just to give you guys a background, this is tournament gameplay. I believe this is from a tournament Kana played in, so I hope he won the tournament. But the main key takeaways I want you guys to understand, guys, is look at the decisions behind Kana's positioning right now. You have to understand that this type of thinking takes time to develop, and you need to be able to back up this type of thinking by investing tons of hours into the game. I want you to pay attention to how he follows his team and uses the utility to assist his team as they're kind of like working their way through the map. I really want you to notice on the order he's going into the areas of the map in. Again, in this clip, you're going to see calm, collective gameplay. So just really pay attention to the notes and the tips that we pinpoint in Kana's gameplay. Alright guys, starting off with our pro player, we have Kana once again, and I want you guys to pay attention to where his positioning is as he's pushing up this team. See how he's not ahead of his neon, he's literally behind his neon, and he's using his utility to help his team. Yeah, this is the first lesson you guys should take away from this pro player. But you know, that's not the main part of this video. Obviously, we like the kills, right? So we're gonna go later on into this VOD, and we're gonna soon see that his team makes his way into A. Sorry. Now we see that his team's kind of getting picked off, and we also notice that the enemy team's on a buy round, and that this team is actually on eco. And I'm pretty sure that this is actually taken in a tournament. So yeah, we're watching some tournament gameplay clips. So basically, guys, Kana and his team need to get the bomb down. So Neon currently is about to make her way into CT because she was able to trade her breach and kill the enemy breach that killed her breach. Wow, that's such a weird thing to say. But anyway, she's able to take that. So if we look at the minimap, she's able to kind of get Breach's gun, and then she's going to position herself over here. So Omen is then going to try to get the bomb down. Now it's a 3v4, but Kana's team is at an eco. So pay attention to the decision making he does here. Why does Kana hold this angle? You may ask yourself. Well, the reason why he holds this angle is because if you guys pay attention to the clip, you guys will understand that there are currently people making noise on the A corridor, which is the corridor right here. If you look at the minimap right here, and if we look at the minimap, we see Neon is holding this angle right here. So instead of Kana holding anything else, not, you know, the reason why Kana's not holding A long or sewers is because they already hear people on A corridor. So the main threat is in A corridor. She doesn't need to look anywhere else, because the 100% guarantee of where an enemy's location is a corridor, right? So she decides to hold the crossfire. Dude, Neon doesn't even have to ask her, because why? Because Kana understands that his role is not a duelist. So he needs to be extra attentive to the mini map, because he needs to be looking exactly where, okay, what angles are my teammates looking, and he knows that Neon's holding CT, so therefore he's going to help Neon without even having to be asked to, so that way he can hold across with Neon. And so because he does that, they're able to kill the Raze. Now unfortunately, the Raze is able to kill their enemy Neon, but it's a free trade. That's a free kind of a trade for Kana, so which puts his team in a better position in order to clutch this round. So we go later on in the round. So unfortunately, again, the guy from A long, which is the enemy chamber, kills Kana's Omen. So, you know, this is just where kind of isolating your gunfights and just being better comes into play. Now, Kana A was able to kind of like secure the kill onto the chamber, and then he's going to isolate the two gunfights he's about to take onto the Fade and Omen perfectly. I want you guys to understand this positioning right here. One, he understands that they're both coming through the same exact location, through A corridor. So he positions himself in order to put his back up against the wall, so that way the only movement keys he literally has to press is either A or D. And he doesn't want to get trapped hell, because there's not much cover to work with in hell. He does have cover to work with left side, which is why he's kind of slowly scaling his way as we see more to the left, more and more, to try to get behind this green box. Now he sees one person push up, and he knows that's the Omen. So the Omen's tucked in this corner right here. So he's just waiting for the second person. So with perfect crosshair placement, guys, he's able to kill the Fade. That's a 1v1 right there with the Fade. And then the second kill is literally the Omen just walks into his crosshair, because he's literally positioning himself to take the gunfight directly straight ahead of him, and not positioning himself to where he has to like watch multiple angles, especially where he already knows where they are. He's not overthinking, thinking, oh, what if one of them goes heaven? What if one of them goes here? No, he's like, okay, for sure, I know I'm in a tournament. These guys are not dumb. They're not going to split up in a 2v1. They're going to stick together. So I know that for a guarantee, they're going to come through, you know, A side, A corridor of CT. So that's why Kana is able to, you know, exactly determine where he's going to be positioned, because he already knows what type of environment this is. Obviously, if you're in ranked, it's a little more random, but in all honesty, you just have to go with the choice that's going to give you the highest chances of winning that round. You're not going to be right all the time, but the more you play the game, the more you'll know. Well, now that you understand what pro level positioning looks like compared to, let's say, silver level positioning, it's a pretty big difference, right? Don't get me wrong. Obviously, positioning is very situational, but the more you play Valorant, the more you're going to be able to better understand these situations, and the better your position is going to get over time. The number one tip you guys should be taking away from this video is to remain calm. Don't freak out. When you guys are determining where you should be positioning your body, you guys need to have a calm, collective mindset to do so. First, gather information. Okay, where can the enemies push me, and am I being given free information? Make your decisions based upon this, and you guys will have pretty good positioning. Also, take your teammates' locations into consideration. Holding crossfires is definitely crucial, but you guys learned plenty from the VOD reviews. So if you did find this video to be helpful, don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn post notifications on so that way you guys are notified for more improvement videos like this. ProSense will soon be the #1 training platform to develop and motivate players, and with your guys' help, we will do just that. Our coaching is coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. I love you guys. This has been your boy Sando301. Peace out.